lives were forever changed by a senseless act of violence.
You know, when we think about what happened here, just a few feet from us, what stands out the most is the response and love from the people of Colorado and people all over the world. The pain was so palpable, but so was the love.
Today, we get to return home, where they can be together once again.
This is our star, our community. Let's reclaim it together.
And this is what we do. This is who we are. We cry and we argue, we get angry, we get distracted, we rebuild, we reflect, and ultimately we go on.
We do not all experience the same pain because we did not all experience the same loss. We did not all lose someone last March in a grocery store in Boulder, or in a movie theater, or a shopping center, or a school or tattoo parlor. And it is all we can do to be here and to be here for one another. And that is what you have done. That's who you are, never wavering, always strong. Good evening. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. I'm Ann Trujillo, and my colleague Shannon Ogden is field anchoring our coverage from Table Mesa Drive in Boulder tonight, where King Soopers, closed by the murders of 10 people, has just reopened. Shannon?
Good evening, Ann. Good evening, everybody. I am live outside that King Soopers, and I was here that day, that awful day, March 22nd of last year. And late that night, a flatbed truck pulled up, piled high with this metal fencing that police used to erect this barricade around this whole lot to secure the crime scene. And by the very next morning, that fencing had blossomed into this heartbreakingly beautiful memorial. So many people were coming by, leaving flowers and balloons and candles and stuffed animals, and pretty soon you couldn't even see the fencing anymore. In fact, I love this. Florists all over Boulder were sold out, completely sold out. So many people just wanted to show that this was personal for them and to show some sweetness to the families of those who were killed. I remember one young man set up his cello right there over my shoulder, right on the sidewalk, and he just played this beautiful music. And he was out here day after day. And I will never forget this 7-year-old girl. She was dropping off a bouquet of flowers with her parents. I met her and I asked her why she was doing it, why she was dropping off those flowers. And she said, because this is where they get ice cream. So many moments like that, such love from this community. And today, some of that memorabilia and some of that fencing is at the Museum of Boulder, just off Pearl Street Mall. It's an exhibit called Boulder Strong, Still Strong, Remembering March 2021. And the community, in fact, is being asked to share photos or short video clips of the things that really impacted them out at that memorial site. It was the poems, or maybe that wall of flowers, or the painted rocks, a sort of therapy through documentary. And then those will all then be included in the exhibit. And continuing our special coverage of this special reopening, Denver 7's Russell Haythorne is here. And Russ, you have a remarkable story of survival.
Yeah, there are several stories of survival, Shannon. There are stories of those who are still in pain, and the pain's still raw and fresh, and it's too raw and fresh to be back here 11 months later. And then there are others, like the gentleman we're about to introduce you to, who say there's a sense of hope and belonging in being back here and taking back what was taken from them. There's nothing quite like a mother's love or the worry she carries, even for children who are grown.
He's an amazing kid.
I'm okay. Gage Price Gaw is walking back through these doors today, 11 months after he and dozens of others ran out these doors to save their lives.
When we first heard the first few shots, it was like, is this happening? Then there are a flood of customers trying to leave, and we end up escaping out the back dock.
For his mom, Kim, the pain is still fresh.
Every day.
Yes.
Doesn't go away. It was a rough day.
But with support of friends and family, today they're taking a small step toward moving on.
I think it's been harder waiting. It's just kind of nice to get back to normal in a way.
His friends and his family has really gathered around and helped each other.
And the community is behind them as well.
To let them know that we're 100% behind them.
There's been a lot of grieving in our community, and I think the fact that the store is open again will give everybody a chance to regroup and celebrate the fact that our spirit is strong.
Not just strong, Boulder strong.
Honestly, it's just good to be back.
And they are Boulder strong, Shannon. And it's not just about the employees here. It's also about those who live in this community,
Absolutely.
who live in this neighborhood. As one woman put it earlier today, she said, this isn't just a grocery store. It's a gathering place for our community.
Absolutely.
She used to gather here with her running group. Before they went running, they would either get coffee before or after. And she said it's just great to have the store back.
Powerful story, Russell, absolutely. And there wasn't an empty parking spot over here today. So many people were eager. So thank you for that.
You bet.
Good to see you tonight. Russell Haythorne for us tonight. And today is not an anniversary of the shooting. This isn't the day to publicly grieve together. We'll have those days, and they will be important. Today is something else. Now, everybody kept talking about that the reopening of the store was part of the healing process. And I thought a lot about that because it's a business. They're reopening to make money. But I've realized there is real power in the symbolic. And respectfully getting back to the business at hand says there was tragedy here, life was lost, but the life of the community was not lost. Columbine High School reopened. It's educating the kids of Littleton today. The Aurora Theater, the Century Theater reopened. It's entertaining people. And now the Table Mesa King Super is reopened and back to the business of feeding the people of Boulder. And that high school and that movie theater and this grocery store are living, thriving monuments to tragedy, but also to resiliency. Reporting live from a newly reopened Table Mesa King Supers, I'm Shannon Ogden for Denver 7. Back to you, Ann.
Yeah, that is that Colorado spirit, isn't it? All right, Shannon, thank you. And Governor Polis was at today's reopening ceremony to welcome people back. He also reflected on the many tragedies that have happened in Colorado while he's been in office.
The last time that I was at this site is when I laid flowers among the thousands of other flowers. The pain was so palpable, but so was the love. In Boulder County and in Colorado, we're tougher than whatever fate throws our way. We come together with love and with compassion.
Governor Polis has since signed multiple bills into law that are aimed at preventing another tragedy like the King Super shooting. And Colorado Congressman Joe Neguse, who lives in Boulder, is working to pass the End Gun Violence Act in Congress. Now, in Colorado, those convicted of violent misdemeanors are not allowed to buy guns for 5 years after conviction. 28 other states do not have this law. Neguse's bill is still awaiting a vote. Sophie, a 5-year-old golden retriever, was also at today's King Super's reopening, and Sophie was joined by some other furry friends from Redeemer Lutheran Church in Fort Collins, and they are there to help bring some comfort to people, to customers, employees coming back for the first day. And our Denver 7 team has remained committed to sharing stories about each of the 10 victims. Right now on thedenverchannel.com, you can read their stories, see the impact they had on their families, on their community. And you can also watch our coverage on the victims and store reopening on the free Denver 7 Plus app. For now, we want to remember these 10 faces, these 10 lives who will never be forgotten in our Colorado community.